Alright, so I want to talk a little bit about Littlefinger Peter Baelish. Uh, Spoiler alert, if you are not caught up, plug your ears now. So, as up to the latest episode, which was season 7, episode 2, we saw that altercation down there in the crypt at Winterfell between Littlefinger and Jon Snow, and it just really seems like people are really starting to get sick of him. So, I think it might just about be time for Littlefinger to either step up his game or exit the story, and it's kind of leaning like probably gonna exit the story. So I've come up with some different ways that I think that might be going down, and so let's talk about that right now. Okay, so there's obviously two options. Either Peter is going to live or he's going to die. Now, he's the kind of guy, what we've seen in these seasons so far, leading up through this whole story, it's kind of like an all or nothing for this guy. So, if he's gonna survive, if somebody doesn't kill him, is he in fact gonna end up on the Iron Throne? Uh, I don't know. I'm not even going to think that far ahead because personally, I don't think it's going to go that way. I think he's got really limited days, especially with some maybe accidental, on purpose spoilers that were actually put out by HBO. And if you backtrack a ways, you kind of see what they did there. So I'll get to that. So I think that there's a couple of ways that Peter might die. So we saw the threat from Jon Snow down there in the crypts that said, "Stay away from my sister." So we know that Jon is leaving. He's going to Dragonstone. He's going to the potential's there that he comes back, and uh, maybe Sansa finally breaks down and listens to Peter, and they do whatever, and Jon doesn't approve, and maybe he actually kills him. I don't know if that's the case, but another option there too is I'm guessing that Brandon Stark is on his way back to Winterfell, and being that he's the three-eyed raven now, he has the ability to see the past, travel time, all that. So he may be at this point aware that Peter Baelish was the one who basically caused the death of Ned, their father. So if that's the case, he's obviously going to say something to his sister if he gets there while Sansa's the only one there, or to Jon, or maybe if Arya's back in Winterfell by that point. So it could be Brandon Stark who brings it up, and they have to act accordingly. Somebody else gave the theory that maybe on during Arya's passageway back to Winterfell, she may cross Sandor Clegane one more time, and whether or not that'll be a pleasant encounter, who knows, but it'll be certainly entertaining. The thing to look for there is that if they somehow arrive together, and that doesn't maybe appear likely because I think Clegane and his band are going to that keep off to the east, so they would actually miss Winterfell. But regardless, if the Brotherhood Without Banners and Clegane do cross Arya's path and they do end up in Winterfell, he witnessed firsthand what happened in the throne room there, so he may in fact tell Arya, or he might have already done so, and it might have been just omitted from the story. So Arya, may be very well aware of who and what Littlefinger is, what he did at this point, and so she may kill him. And I guess at this point have to lean that way. There was a picture released by HBO, a teaser picture, and in that picture there were all of the Stark family members that are remaining alive in one photo, and Arya had on her person a dagger, and that dagger happens to be The very dagger that was identified early in the story by Petyr Baelish, saying that it belonged to Tyrion Lannister. It was the sword that the assassin tried to stab Brandon Stark originally with. It's also the exact same dagger that Littlefinger had held to Ned's throat there in the throne room. Now she's in possession of that, so that can only lead me to believe, that her and her newfound set of skills is what caused that, or takes him out of the picture. I do think that she is probably going to kill him. I could be wrong. I guess I really feel like we're going to find out very, very, very quickly. Or I could be wrong, and, who even knows? He may just end up the king of the Seven Kingdoms. Highly doubted at this point, and signs are really pointing at it being Arya, so that's it for me. If you've got some ideas, what you think might happen, or ways you'd even like to see Littlefinger die, go ahead and throw them down there in the comments. And while you're at it, click down here, or down here, whichever side it's on, at that subscribe button, and we'll have more content coming quick as these episodes roll in this season.